What is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. It is the middle of the week, and yeah, we are putting the E in CW tonight. I hope you're ready for it in this edition of WWT Live.
Yeah. Now I'm going to go off. This is Shayna, the Queen of Spades, Baszler, and you're watching Women's Wrestling Talk.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
What is up? Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's your girl Wrestling with Honey here for this edition of WWT Live as part of Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Yes, we are kicking it off a little late. Sorry, we're a little tardy to the party. Just had to make sure things were situated and we are ready to go. We got so much to talk about. We have a Raw recap. We have to prepare for NXT tonight. ECW town is probably all ablaze with excitement, and we also have Dynamite. Too much going on. And you know what? With all of that, I can't do all of this alone. With so much to talk about, you have to have friends to talk about it with. And I got some friends with me today, and I'm sure you know who they are. You definitely know who this guy is.
It's Councilman Will Ferrell of Strattonville with his Parisiac constituents.
Councilman Farrell in the building, and I'm sure he's real excited for the festivities tonight. Councilman, how are you today?
It's a Wednesday night war right now, getting ready to commence. All right, and I am excited because landslides don't usually happen, but tonight it's definitely happening because
yes,
NXT is getting extreme.
Oh
Woo!
That's all I can't imagine like the literally the adrenaline in Philly has got to be like through the roof with all the festivities that are going to be transpiring tonight. NXT in ECW town, in the arena where it was created, and the home of ECW hosts the future of wrestling in NXT. And of course, we have more people to talk about that with. And of course, you can't have dreams without nightmares.
It's Dion from at All Star Fandom.
Quite frankly, you need to go back to the drawing board because your game absolutely sucks.
Bam. There it is.
and indeed, he is the people's nightmare. Dion from All Star Fandom. What's up, bro? How we doing today?
No better day to talk wrestling than today. Let's get into it.
Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm here for it. I love the energy today. I'm really even more excited to bring this person in. Of course, I rarely get to do this. And he says he doesn't need an intro, but I'm going to give him one anyway, since I kind of don't have it here or I can't find it at the moment. But he is our Teflon G. He is the patriarch of WWT, Hollywood G, according to the boss lady. And of course, you can't be any more bona fide without him. Our professor is in the building. What's up, NXT Bonafide in the house?
Wow, what's up, guys? That was the patriarch. Wow, that's a patriarch. No Christian Cage. This is pretty awesome. It's I will tell you, there is really one reason why I am here, and that is because I think we need pro wrestling on a time and a day like today.
Yeah,
so. I decided to break my moments away from socials to come hang with you guys. So let's have some fun for the next hour or so.
Yes, let's do it. Let's
with a turtleneck now. On one of these episodes.
You gotta definitely. Do I need to, now? I've got a turtleneck or two. I can break a turtleneck out now.
I'm gonna hear about that with a turtleneck.
I can't do.
Oh,
I'm loving it. And already the energy is kicking off here And in the chat as well, Cindy's in the house, nice and early, easy, not Joe Boza. Pleasure to see you guys. Hope you guys are doing very well today. Pat you, always a pleasure. And yeah, so let's just start recapping now, shall we? Let's just go right for it. Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was quite eventful, to say the least. And again, I always find myself by the end of it like, damn it, we still don't have that extra hour, because I just want just a little more. You know, it's like it's like getting a really good entree, and you're like, damn, if I only had a good appetizer to go with it, that would have definitely made the whole cake. But you know what? We keep beggars can't be choosers. We got to go with the flow here. So much transpired. What are some things that stood out to you from this past Monday on Raw? And obviously, there's a lot to cover. So I'll start with you, Dion. What was one of the highlights that left you pretty much being like, okay, here we go?
I'm like Deal. I'm with the Io Sky, number one contender. That like she's been like right there, not like right there. She's been champion already, right? But I don't know. There's something. Maybe once Bailey left Damage Control and there was a sort of a new act with her, I was like, okay, she's like right there on the cusp of being like the champion. And so that was more excited about that. I rooted for Dirty Dom, but I knew it wasn't going to happen. Like your heart went with it. You know, my heart went with that one. But you know, I think yeah, since they're running it back with Damian Priest, I'm anxious to see how that works. Because he's new theme song, new look. Well, red, but other than that, like he's getting reactions when he comes out. Like I'm loving Damian Priest now. But no, the Io Sky, I'm looking forward to seeing how they handle her the rest of the way. Oh God, and the New Day thing. I'm sorry, honey, and the New Day deal. Like that's not a highlight for me though.
Well, okay, but tell them how you really feel.
Big E needs to come back and save this thing. That's what's happening. Big E should come back, save this thing before the anniversary. That's my hopes. That's been my hopes for the last few months since they've been trying to do this rift.
I totally get it. I totally understand. And I hate to be that person, and I don't want to burst any bubbles here, especially with, being.
Oh, honey.
Can't believe like that long of an anniversary. Oh.
I think you're back.
I think you're back.
Am I here? Am I here?
There you go.
Okay, I froze. Sorry, guys. I was talking about, I don't know, Wyatt 6 action is too much going on, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. But with the New Day and how impactful they have been over the years, and how long they have transcended the tag team division, I think it's I think they might be doing what I think they're doing, and I don't want to say it out loud because I definitely don't want to manifest such sadness, being that most of us are already going through some sadness as it is with this week. But yeah, other than the New Day, of course, it's always interesting to see where they could go with this story. They could totally be swerving us. You never know. I think the real intrigue for me every Monday, obviously, is always the Wyatt 6, and seeing that recording of The Miz being trapped with Uncle Howdy and overtaken and kidnapped by Mercy the Buzzard. Such great storytelling and long-term storytelling, because it flashed back to the moment where Curtis Axel was still there and Bo was there, and they were part of the B team with The Miz and talking about family. And apparently the Wyatt 6 is calling cap, and the Miz is gonna have to pay up. So that was really crazy. And I might, and I know I'm a Jersey girl. I live in Jersey. I rep Jersey. But Liv Morgan, you deserve that slap, girl. You deserved that slap. That Bianca held nothing back, and she was just like, okay, do your thing. You're gonna talk your smack, and now you're gonna just pay the price, because not for nothing, that's what one would do when somebody is talking about you in your face, saying you're not going to do anything. You poke the bear enough, you're gonna get some growling right back at you, and that's exactly what Bianca did. So there was a lot of really cool moments, and the big 2 out of 3 continue to truck through a lot of the noise of their division that people are pretty much already trying to stir up with that. But Professor, what other moments stood out to you going into this episode of Raw?
I'll start by saying that, and I think somebody said it, Dion, you might have said it, or maybe somebody in the chat, that Raw seems to be really figuring out how best to use these 2 hours, because everything that was mentioned, it was something completely different, and they managed to get all of that in the 2 hours. And the one thing nobody's talked about yet is the bloodline. And that well, again, you take these 3 guys, the Usos and Sammy, and you let them cook, and it's like we're back to 2 years ago where it was must-see TV, and for them to bring this onto Raw was incredible. I think most of us are aware now that it was a recorded episode, obviously recorded the day or so after Crown Jewel. And what was interesting is to go back and to see WWE releasing on the socials kind of the unedited things that happened for Jay, in terms of how people responded to him and how they were just singing his song so much he was like, put the song back on. Like, it's amazing to see the people chanting Sammy Uso, and then to hear Jay call Sammy Uso. We've got so many layers in this story right now. I think it's a wonderful thing to see. And so, yeah, they crushed it outside of all the other things that you guys mentioned. I will say that for everybody who is screaming about Jade versus Bianca, man, that's so 2022.
It's so 2022.
This is what the people really want. And it was very evident to me on Saturday. What the people really want is Jade Cargill. Let me say her name very, very respectfully, because she's just Jade Cargill and Lash Legend. That is what the people really want. That's what we really want. Jade and Bianca. Yeah, for one, we totally believe that they're sisters at this point, because they are. And you there's no point where we actually believe that Jade can really match up with Bianca. Not for real. Like, Bianca has been the big sister right now, and that's all good. But when you talk about Jade and Lash, you got 2 former basketball players. You've got 2 women who entered the business at the same time. 2 women who had some really rough starts to the pro wrestling space. And now they figured out their power. They're these towering figures. That's what we really want to see. And if they stick with Jade and Bianca, I think if they're going to do that somewhere down the road when Jade has more reps under her. Because right now Jade can't. It's unfair to put Jade in a solo WrestleMania position against Ms. WrestleMania right now. That doesn't make any sense at all. But that Lash Legend and Jade Cargill, sign me up.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Councilman, what about for you?
Oh, that's fine. All of what y'all talking about is good. That was great. Big Foley Jr. putting his nose in other people's business. Cool, whatever.
That's family, man.
Sitting there. What we not focusing on is the future. And that it was some big backery in this Wrestlery Monday. And I'm talking about with Seth freaking Rollins and my boy Big Bronson. this is not over, okay? Because he should have won at Crown Jewel.
Big backery is what you said.
The big backery in this Wrestlery is what
hilarious.
Was right?
In this Wrestlery.
And I cannot wait to see what happens next. That I feel like is going to be up there as far as rivalries go. But like you said, to Professor's point, I think Dion and you and Honey, they have found their stride. People in the comments, they found their stride within this 2 hours to give us so much in such a short amount of time. But I still want my 3 hours back. I still want my 3 hours.
We're almost there. We are getting closer and closer by the day where we will be back to our 3 hours. But I will acknowledge what they're doing, because by the end of the show they leave you wanting more, and that's something that I remembered about wrestling when I was a child, when it was 2 hours before it even went to 3 hours, where it gave you that feeling like, damn, I can't wait to see it next week. I can't wait till Friday. I can't wait to but those days we had to wait a whole week. But luckily we don't have to wait that long with all the wrestling that we consume on a daily basis. Yeah. Any other points about Raw before we move on? Anything that we
the Battle Royal was actually really good too. It was good.
The women's Battle Royal, yes.
It was good to see how a lot of them were spotlighted. I think it did a great job reminding us of everyone that's there. Especially like seeing Maxine Dupree, of how like she was shining through.
About that Maxine Dupree though.
Miss Maxine.
Maxine forgot where she was. She clearly did not take the course on how to behave in Saudi 101, because when Daughter of Zion decided to start swiveling her hips, I was like, ma'am, you about to get the whole thing canceled. Please stop. Please don't do that. I know you have a full jersey on, but we still see the movement. That's not the move. Which, let me just say this too. This is what's so intriguing to me about these Saudi shows. It challenges the women. Obviously, they have to dress differently. They have to even augment some of the things that they might normally do just to be respectful of that culture. But to me, it's almost felt more creative. Their outfits are more creative. Their presentations are more creative.
Yeah, what?
Something that was a little. Yeah.
Because Jay was dressed as what, Deadpool? That's what it looked like. So,
both of them, really. Yeah.
And then like Metaphor had kind of the Avatar thing happening. Like it's.
Lyra's was really good too. I don't know if she had like a hood and did her own version of like Spider Gwen and stuff, but like they were.
The looks was looking, and I loved it.
Was it Wonder Girl? Who was with Chad Gable and
I did
know. She was like, was that Wonder Girl, Wonder Woman, or whatever?
Yeah, like Wonder Woman.
Dope. Yeah,
it was. They kept referencing her as Lady Liberty on commentary, though, which was quite hilarious. It was hilarious. Also, what do we think? One more thing. What do we think about the possibility of, El Campeón returning to the fold in the title picture? Damian Priest is going against Gunther. He's the number one contender for his title. For a title he has had.
Gunther's on a run. I don't know. After that match, it's tough.
Upset.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to fight Gunther right now.
No.
I mean, there's not a time that I would actually really want to fight him, but especially not after losing such a high profile match.
And the way he lost it. Like, that's
yes. Yeah, and he had that little speech with Kaiser saying we have to do better, and he just walked away. I was like, oh man.
And when are they supposed to be?
I hope Damian's chest is ready, because he's. But what were we saying, Councilman?
I was like, is this going to be on Raw, or is this set for like a pay-per-view?
We don't know.
Don't even know.
Okay.
Don't even know.
Well, best of luck, Damian.
Yes, best of luck to Damian Priest. This, however, Adam Pearce has made an announcement that he is dedicating next week's Monday Night Raw to the New Day and celebrating their anniversary. Fellas, what are we thinking? Professor, you look like you have something you might want to say.
It's already been a trying week. and I don't want to add to it.
Yes.
I don't want to add to it, but I said this months ago that they were going to take this all the way out to the anniversary, and our hearts are going to get ripped apart. I'm telling you, Xavier Woods is about to do something that's so diabolical that we're just gonna go, we didn't even know you had that in you, sir. It cannot be we just part ways amicably. Oh no. It has to be something that leaves us all scratching our head. And I fear that we're not really ready for what we're about to see next week.
Yeah. I think everybody will have to prepare their mental state of being, as well as, grab some tissues, because this is going to be a massive heartbreak. I think this might even be even more massive than a Shield.
It will be.
Of course it will be. Are you kidding?
Listen, I guess that's y'all. I'm ready for this. I'm ready because this could go two ways. This could go two ways, and I'm cool with either one. These cats really start getting into it, and you need Big E to return back to make it the New Day again, and we keep getting the fantastic New Day that we have.
That's my prayer.
The second, Xavier Woods throws Kofi Kingston off the Titantron, and he's out for a hot little minute. And this leads to Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania.
My God.
It doesn't matter. You take Kofi out for a little bit. Kofi comes back. This could be a show stealer for night 1 or night 2.
Exactly. I'm Cedric.
He said the mayor's in the comments for those who are listening, and says he's burning merch like when Braun left Cleveland. Well, damn. Cousin Ron, I would have to agree with this comment. This is going to be akin to watching Opie on Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, we all know that terrifying, that heartbreaking Opie scene.
I have a good story about Sons of Anarchy and the guy that started there. I'll tell y'all that offline, but that's
please do. Yeah. You're talking about the guy who played Jax?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. We're gonna definitely have to talk about this offline. Anyway, moving on, unless there's any final thoughts on what we could possibly be seeing next Monday.
I think it's dope though. I know we're getting heartbreak, but I do think it's dope that they're dedicating Monday Night Raw to them. I think that just shows such a dope milestone for a group where it was it wasn't fully people weren't fully convinced that this would work, and to have it 10 years down the line and have given us so many memorable moments. I just think it really is astonishing for them to get this type of get these flowers. And I really hope Big E is there Monday too to also receive
absolutely
back or something like that. He deserves to be out in front just as much as they do.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting about this whole thing is it's one of those things where we're all looking at it and we're like, you see it coming. You don't want to see it coming, but it's coming. And we look at what we've been talking about the last few weeks. Look at SmackDown. The tag team division in WWE is really, really stacking up to some really amazing opportunities. And you're thinking about now when you're seeing things like Jimmy and Jey Uso coming into their own as solo stars. You have other teams that have done that throughout history, and Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods are definitely going to fall under that same statistic of historical tag teams that have gone their separate ways and still find great success. And we know that they're both capable of doing so. Obviously Kofi as well, because Kofi Mania, we could get that again. We can get Xavier Mania. You know what I mean? They're going to break out and branch out into, their mega version of themselves. And who's to say they won't come back like the way Jey Uso and Jimmy are currently doing right now.
And that's what's
it's to the point where now we know, like they say, like they said on Monday, they know you and they know me. I'm Jimmy and I'm Jay and you're Jay. We are our own people now. We're equals. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how this plays out. But go ahead, Dion.
Yeah. Thinking about how this all plays out, they're going to show this video of the New Day's 10 years, and we're going to have Kofi's and Big E's title reigns in there. and none, and probably like Xavier getting beat up by the bloodline and getting his crown taken, like stuff like that. Will be
Oh, imagine they don't show him King of the Ring,
or they don't show him at all. That's where the hurt's gonna come in, and you're gonna be like, okay, I snapped.
Set him off. It's gonna set him off. It's gonna set him off.
Yeah. It's gonna be pretty nuts here. Cedric says, what have we seen under this era that makes us believe Triple H would push Xavier Woods?
I would say because of the divisions you now have with these belts. So you have a like Cedric, like Xavier going solo. I fully see him getting an intercontinental shot against Braun Breaker. I even see within the next 1 to 2 years, probably even just in 2025, Coffee versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't see them not riding the wave after this, because I really do believe, like, if they split, these two will get a match at WrestleMania. There's no way you miss that ball, because this is going to be one of the biggest rivalries of 2020, the start of 2025, in my opinion, if it does happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be really, really unnerving, but very interesting to see what they do with the storytelling of it all, because they've been cooking this up with the New Day for quite some time. And we've been on the edge of our seats waiting for when that was going to happen. Until then, we found out their anniversary was coming up, and we're like, oh, ding ding, it makes sense. But we will see. But here's
I'll quickly answer that first. Said, what have we seen under this era that makes us believe Triple H would push Woods? A guy named Main Event Jey Uso.
Hello. Ding ding ding. Ding ding ding. That's a good answer. That's a very good answer.
That's my answer. There's nothing else that needs to be said.
That's the answer. Period. Here's why what we're really here for tonight.
This is what
tonight, y'all.
Now, honey, you sure you want to start with the main course first and then move to appetizers? You don't want to start with the appetizers first and get them out the way? It's up to you.
We could just get through it. We could just get through it. I mean, unless you guys want to start with the appetizers, which one you want? We have lots to go.
No,
through.
We probably need to start with Dynamite.
Because
I don't know that if we start with NXT, we might not get to Dynamite.
We won't.
You're right. So let's do that. Good councilman. You're funny, man. You're so funny. Let's get into Dynamite. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. So Dynamite is going to be taking place in Manchester at the SNHU Arena. Yes, I did read that right. And quite the card. We have Penelope Ford versus Jamie Hayter. We have the Learning Tree against the Conglomeration. Adam Cole versus Malachi Black, which I'm really looking forward to. And the main event, I would assume, would be the Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin tag teaming up versus Claudio Castagnoli and Pac. What we thinking of tonight's card for AEW Dynamite, and any predictions, Professor?
I first will say this. I mentioned because there's also going to be Hook, who is confronting Christian Cage tonight, so that's supposed to be happening. We got the Hurt Syndicate tonight. We've got the tag match with Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher against Ricochet and a mystery partner. If we think about it, this is a really stacked card that Dynamite has. Not just that, but one of the things that I said, and I think I said this last week, that what Dynamite and AEW has to do is just continue to focus on telling their stories. They don't need to put together, another special edition of Dynamite. Like last week was Fright Night Dynamite, and, they had Title Tuesday and all that other. No, just give us the show that you intended to give us. Because the thing that's cool to me is, if you've been watching the AEW product, all of these matches are connected one way or another to a story that's being told in AEW. And there's stories right now there's some pretty good storytelling that's happening. This Orange Cassidy versus, John Moxley and whatever Moxley's calling his guys, in this battle for AEW, it's a really different kind of story for AEW, and to have, of all people, Orange Cassidy being the unwilling leader of the fight, there's some good things. And so him and Darby against Claudio and Pac's going to be a good one. Adam Cole and this whole idea of trying to get to 3 matches before he gets to MJF, fighting Malachi Black of all people. And Malachi Black had a great promo on Collision Saturday night, which I think will make this interesting. My only issue with a match like this is if this were 4 years ago, we'd be salivating at this match because this would be main eventing a takeover, right? The problem here is because we haven't seen Malachi Black on our TV, and we know they're going to put, Adam Cole in this situation where he gets to his 3 matches. That's kind of the unfortunate piece on this. The learning tree and the conglomeration, the fight without honor, this has got Ring of Honor ties to it. It is akin to a hardcore match without calling it a hardcore match, which I think is a good move to counteract what's going to happen on the other side tonight. Now, I want to say this extremely respectfully. I know this is Penelope Ford's return to AEW. She hasn't been wrestling for 2 years. But no offense, Penelope Ford, but like this world
should be the CEO.
I mean, like seriously, against Jamie Hayter of all people, and this is your return. So if you are serving up Jamie Hayter to Penelope Ford, that's a problem. That's a problem. At no point in the AEW universe does that make sense. Penelope should probably put up a good fight, but there's no way that she should be beating up Jamie Hayter. Now, the other thing I'm really interested in on this card is the Hurt Syndicate. I'm extremely interested in hearing what they have to say. We have to consider that for all that they did in WWE, we never got them in front of a live audience, not once. So to get them in front of a live audience, to see and hear what they have to say, that's going to hit differently. And I think that's probably going to be one of the elements that will make people think about turning the channel for sure. Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher against Ricochet and a mystery partner that doesn't seem like very much of a mystery.
I was just going to say that.
I mean, it's pretty evident it's going to be Ospreay. One thing I must admit AEW has not figured out how to do well is to really give us a good surprise. Like they give us way too many Easter eggs
and announcements.
Yeah, like if it's going to be a surprise, let it be a real surprise. But I think it'll be a good match. Christian Cage and Hook should be fun. So they've got a solid card. They have a really solid card, and it is consistent with what they're doing in terms of their story. So congratulations to them.
I'm just really excited to see the Hurt Syndicate finish their story and let us know.
I got a lot left in the tank.
Like we're probably about to F around and find out. You know what I mean? Like we're definitely they're gonna be giving us the F around and find out,
They're going to be a beautiful problem for sure.
It's gonna be great. I'm so looking forward to it. There are some highlights in Dynamite tonight that I actually will want to be able to make sure I'm in front of the TV for.
I'll watch it on DVR.
I'm glad.
I said that out loud.
His inside thoughts were outside. That's what happened.
Sorry.
Look, it's a solid card.
But it's going to be a good watch. It's going to be a good watch.
It's going to be a fantastic watch.
I'm not going to watch it. But if you're AEW, I think you will. And it's setting more up for Full Gear. And so I think that's what's great about that is that, like you said, it's progressing a lot of potential storytelling and continuing some storytelling. So I think they'll do well off of that.
Yeah, definitely. And then, not steering too far away from the topic of AEW. The man who does extraordinary things, Mr. Ricochet, had quite a few things to say. He did an interview with Chris Van Vliet, which is a really awesome interview. I did get to see clips of it. Did any of you guys get to see the interview at all? Or
Well, I saw the portion we're probably going to talk about. I did see that.
No,
Yeah, a few
yeah,
clips
and
here and there,
he
too.
had quite a lot to say. And he came to reveal his deciding factor for pretty much leaving WWE. Quote unquote. He says, I got to thinking, okay, what will I be doing? Where will I be in 3 years? After that, where will I be? And again, anything can happen. You don't know the circumstances, etc. He also goes on to say, quote unquote, but I still feel like I was starting over again. I felt like I was starting over with the Braun Breakers and the Ilias and the Carmelos and the new guys just coming in. I feel like Ricochet was with those guys coming back in. It's like, man, I've already been there for 5 or 6 years. I want to be doing something else. I'll hand the floor to Professor first, and let's get to talk about, because I'm sure this was the portion that you heard when you saw the.
Yeah, are you sure you want to hand it to me first? I mean,
we can if you want
let me.
to.
I'll let the other guys say something, and then I'll pick up whatever they don't.
All right, Councilman, what do you think?
I mean, I don't really got.
I can't deal.
I don't, because I'm like, yeah, like I really want to know what the professor don't say. I don't know, like what do you do? Like, do you have the moves?
Thank you, said. That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Like, I don't know where to start with this.
Lord,
so, Dion, would you like to
I'll keep it quick and hand it back to the professor on this one. With what he said, I mean, he wasn't lying, I don't think, because I mean that's that division for that Intercontinental title that he would be competing for. I don't know if he was ever going to sniff like that world title or the WWE title. I mean, it just didn't seem like that was in reach. And given like with the new guys who are coming in too, I mean, they're killing it first days in. I mean, Carmelo Hayes' first match was against Cody, and he just did a triple threat in Saudi. So Carmelo Hayes has damn near overshot Ricochet already. Just in like he got TV time. He's done big matches, 7-game series with Andrade. So I mean, I'm not saying they found 7. Yeah, you're right.
It's a half. So,
but,
look ahead.
Right. But it just seems to me like Ricochet, he may have hit his ceiling in WWE, especially with all the talent coming up at NXT and the roster shakeups too. I remember they tried to put him with Braun at one point as a tag team. That didn't work as well, I don't think, or at least Braun got hurt, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it felt like they were trying to find him spots, but nothing worked for him there. So if his opportunity was to leave so he could go do what he wants to do, wrestle how he wants to wrestle, all means that's his prerogative if he took it. So, but I don't see any lies, honestly. He was going to be up against those guys.
So I'll start by saying that I think everyone is entitled to their own opinion about themselves. Okay. People are allowed to believe that you are great. You are incredible. Like I think to some degree, you should have a perspective of yourself that believes you can do anything. I think what you have to then turn around and do is make sure that perspective is actually balanced against what's actually happening in the rest of the world. One thing Ricochet cannot say is that WWE did not give him opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
He had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. In fact, he even had a shot at the world championship. Many may forget it, but it happened right there in Saudi. He had a world title match against Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
So there's a couple of things. Number one, I don't think it's fair to say that he felt like he was starting over with an Ilya, a Braun Breaker, and a Carmelo. Those are three incredible athletes who are not being brought in at the bottom of the card. By no means.
True.
They are being brought in a championship space. All three of them. All three of them were. So to be in that space is by no means bad. So there's that. The other thing is, if that's your reason for leaving, then I expect you to be in the world title picture wherever you're going. And have we seen that happen? That would be a no. He's been in the international title picture, but that's because Will Ospreay was there and they wanted to redo that. Now, good for him on going over to New Japan this week and challenging Zack Sabre Jr. to find himself in a world title picture. I think it's hilarious that he has to go to New Japan and he can't do it with the company that he's signed with. But there's a bigger problem here. And the bigger problem to me is this. Ricochet is unwilling to make the adjustments to become a world champion. This is a hot take, but it's the truth.
Ooh. Can we give him a full screen? Give Chris a full screen.
Right. You ran my mind.
Yeah,
he's unwilling to make the adjustments. Let me explain. Ricochet has put himself in a position where he is a special attraction. When's the last time you saw a world champion do what Ricochet does? You've never seen it. You've never seen it. The only time a Rey Mysterio became a world champion was on the back of the passing of Eddie Guerrero. Let me explain what I mean. Look at all of your world champions. Your world champions have multiple styles that they're able to do. They might throw in a high-flying move every now and again, but they've got a mat game, they've got a ground game, they've got a promo game, all of those kinds of things. Ricochet is going to give you those beautiful flips. Ricochet is going to give you those things that you see in a video game. Video game characters do not make world champions. Now, since you want proof, let's talk about Will Ospreay. The one world title that he won was in New Japan, and he won that world title when he amended his style. Well, he wasn't doing what he did against Ricochet when he won the world title. He got himself a power game. He put some weight on. He put some muscle on, and he threw in those moves every now and again. And when he comes over to AEW, the reason he's able to win these championships is because he's not the one-trick pony.
Preach.
He can hit you with a number of things. Ricochet is still relying on a high-flying game that doesn't mean anything in AEW since 15 other people are already doing that. Ricochet would have been smart to stay in the WWE where he was an anomaly. But if being the world champion was what you want to do, you've got to amend your style. Go look at AJ Styles. Styles has the ability to do all that stuff, but he doesn't. Styles can submit you. Styles can take you to the mat. Styles can hit the flying move when it matters. This is one of those cases where less is more. And so what Ricochet decided to do was, okay, I'm going to go where I can go do what I want to do. Great. Go do that. But you doing what you want to do does not make you a world champion. It just doesn't. Look at AEW's world champions. They all have mat games. Run down the list. Chris Jericho, John Moxley, MJF, Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland. I think I ran through all their world. Hangman Adam Page, Kenny Omega. All of them have the ability to do high-flying stuff, but that's not what they're known for, because when you're a world champion, you have to be able to believably fight people of multiple styles. And you can't do that if all you do is flip and flop. So Ricochet, I appreciate you deciding whatever it was you decided on. If that was your reason, I think you picked a bad reason, because you're not turning around and doing the things in AEW that make you world championship conversation. You showed up in New Japan. Thank you for showing up in New Japan. But here's the problem. Nobody believes that you're going to beat Zack Sabre Jr. for the world championship. Not the day after Wrestle Kingdom on Wrestle Dynasty. No, we don't believe that, because you haven't demonstrated that to us in any of these other matches you've had. That's my thought on what Ricochet had to say.
Well, I had to get my shades on for a second. But here's what we're gonna do before we get to
because it's something he also skipped in his stuff. You also ain't entertaining on the mic.
Well, I didn't even have to go there.
You didn't even have to
go there.
That's next Sunday sermon.
The thing about Ricochet is everybody talks about the obvious. The obvious is that he's not the greatest talker. Okay, that's the obvious. But now we got to go to what you continue to present to us every single week. Ricochet had the chance when he came over to AEW to completely amend his game. He could have did what Shelton Benjamin did and gave us a whole new side, and we went, whoa. Like, I want to see Shelton Benjamin on my TV every single week. Because that dude who's throwing people around, oh my Lord, give me that all day. Ricochet did nothing different. Nothing. And they keep giving him interview segments. Yeah. They keep trying.
I don't know why they're trying to put a mic on him.
This again is why everybody doesn't need to have creative control and be in their own bag. You need guidance right now, man. You need guidance, and you should have stayed under the WWE umbrella. I do, at the very least, I am glad that you're finally going to be in a main event, even though it's in New Japan.
I was going to say
the company you signed with.
That's not the company.
Yeah, that isn't. And I was literally gonna say, like, I'm not sure how you could feel like you're starting over. Because if anything, I'm looking at Ilya Dragunov and Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes like, oh, let's do this. I want to work with these guys. Like, can you imagine the kind of match
those
that
are
Ilya
three
versus
former.
Ricochet could.
How about this? Those are three former NXT champions. Something that Ricochet was not.
He was
back over there.
And also
North American champion, but not the NXT champion.
Yeah, but also too, that makes you the OG to them. So they look
that part.
Right.
So it's like, and then like not to call it like clinging or anything, but like imagine if you were on SmackDown and Melo was there. This could have been you and him
in his seven game. Yeah.
Right.
And then you in a triple threat match in Saudi Arabia. Or it could have been you taking the belt off of Sammy or off Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship, especially with the unfortunate injury of Dragunov. So it's like, what do you? It's like y'all jumped the gun too early. Of like, well, I ain't got that much time. I'm trying to do this. It's like, but you see the pivot that's changing.
Yeah.
So why do you jump the gun so quickly?
That screams insecurity to me. It's no shade at all. It screams in-ring insecurity, and you're like Professor said, you need guidance. You're not sure where you stand, then you need to figure that out. You gotta, find your niche. And it's taken people quite some. Hello, look at Jey Uso. Prime example. Look at Jey Uso. and it's like they say every week. It's like that at one point we couldn't tell who was who. I mean, those who were diehard fans and watched more than casually, then of course knew who Jimmy and Jay were. But now you distinctively can point out that that's Jimmy and that's Jey Uso. They could be a unit if they want to. They could be solo if they want to. And Ricochet could have found something to gravitate to,
or even to a Finn Balor or a Shinsuke.
Hello,
look how long they were there.
But this is like Professor said, like he's had opportunities. I forgot about the Brock Lesnar thing. Granted, it was a quick one, but I'm like, there's something in you. Had matches with AJ Styles and stuff, and AJ Styles was the one doing
You
the
were
flip.
he
Like,
was in that
you know?
classic moment, and when NXT did that Worlds Collide, and it was him, Velveteen Dream, and Malachi now, but Aleister Black. There was like 6 of them or something in there, or even the moment with him, Malachi, and Aleister. And Mustafa Ali, when they were little, triple tag moments that they had, like there were some things where Ricochet could have been the highlight for.
And he went back to NXT.
He just couldn't break from the pack, apparently.
Yeah, he went back to
break
NXT
himself from the
Carmelo.
pack.
So he's worked Carmelo before.
Yeah, Professor said it best though. Like you didn't give yourself an arsenal like that for you to go up. And even too, like even within your losses, like you still weren't really starting over. You're the reason why Gunther has the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship reign. Right. You've had that. You've been a United States champion, and it's like, bro, like some superstars who have never won a belt. Xavier Woods, for example, has never won a singles title, and you've held multiple and the tag team titles.
Yes. And
so
I just
Monet syndrome. You feel yourself
That's the Monet syndrome.
Well, she was the world champion.
Well, yeah, she worked the mic before she could even work the mic. Like she was born for that moment. Rick, some people are built with that mic instinct, and some people really aren't. Man, some people really aren't. I do want to respond to a comment here. Boza says, if anything, Ricochet was acting like a child because he had to put over the stars of tomorrow. Now, I feel like we could end up using a lot of the terms loosely, just because someone gets pinned and the person that's pinning them, that doesn't always technically mean it's going over. The whole point of being one-on-one is protecting your opponent and also put over your opponent as well. Like it's a give and take situation. So I don't necessarily think that when you pin somebody, that means they're putting you over necessarily, because it could happen the opposite way. The person getting pinned could be getting put over. Look at a situation like Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair with the retirement match. Shawn Michaels won, yes, but Ric Flair was the one who had to go over because that was his final match, and it was emotional and it was invested. Ricochet, I don't think he should have felt any kind of way about any of them coming in, because there would have been more opportunities to be able to be seen on the main roster with those same guys you've worked with, and change up some storylines, or go or move to SmackDown, go after the US title, go for LA Knight, because you know what I mean, like there's go for the big fish.
But even to Professor's point, you even dropped the ball of how you could exceed by having that perspective, because him and Braun Breaker are perfect examples because of the way Braun Breaker treated you. And if you look throughout it, that's the best example I could see of the point that the Professor made. You attempted several times to do aerial assaults on Braun, and it didn't work. And this was the result of him bashing you in the way that it was and throwing you into the car. This would have been your opportunity to come back and show us a different variation of Ricochet. And the reasoning being is Braun Breaker. Okay, I have to up my ground game. I have to up my striking game if I ever want to go after Braun Breaker. And you didn't do that. You decided, hey, I don't want to start over, so I'm going to go to another place and start over. And now I don't barely get booked. I'm in tag matches now, and my first world title is in a place that I'm not even signed to. And then what happens after that when you lose? Do you now are no longer a favorite, or do we start seeing you on Collision now? Or maybe you go to Ring of Honor and be Ring of Honor champion.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, there is that. And you know what? Go cop some merch for a minute, guys.
Hey, yo, you. Yeah, you that's watching this. You sitting on the couch staring at the screen, not knowing what you want to do, like this is an online college. Are you tired of wearing shirts that make you look like an extra stuck in catering? Do you want to step your wrestling swag game up to the next level? Then Women's Wrestling Talk has got you covered. Like literally. Are you for life in pink or black and white? Or maybe you're the EST and people need to respect you accordingly. Want to put some pride in your stride and show off the muscle in your hustle? Then make sure you check out the WWT store. Not now, but right now. Alright? What you waiting for? Head to www.talkpodstore.com and don't make me fight you.
This episode of Women's Wrestling Talk has been brought to you by All Caribbean Wrestling. Catch the wave. Go to allcaribbeanwrestling.com to check out all the latest pay-per-views or go on the YouTube page at All Caribbean Wrestling. Also, go and check out their socials on Instagram at All Caribbean Wrestling and on X at All Caribbean WR1.
Yes, make sure you guys check out all things on www.talkpod.com for all that cool merch so you can look like one of us and be part of the team. And shout outs to our amazing sponsors, as always, over at All Caribbean Wrestling. Now, before we get to our main course / desserts, we have some news, some very important news in the wrestling world. We have a legend who is retiring, and that is Meiko. Excuse me, I almost butchered that. I apologize. Meiko Satomura's retirement, and there is a date that has been announced for it. It is happening around an anniversary, I believe, when she had her first match, and it's going to be going down for April 15th. Or no, excuse me, April 30th, 2025. I think that's what I'm seeing here. I hope that's right. I don't know if that's right. Oh, no, excuse me, April 15th. I was right the first time. April 15th at the Korakuen Hall in Tokyo. And we want to congratulate her and wish her well and see what she got for her final run over in Japan. Should be really, really, really
a lot of
cool.
retirements next year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everybody's going on a retirement tour, huh?
Mhm.
I'll tell you what's not going on a retirement
Can't wait
tour
for that
anytime
Goldberg one.
soon. And that's funny. I'll tell you who will not be going on retirement tour anytime soon, even though he's already kind of had one without it being a tour. Chef Shawn Michaels cooking it up in the kitchen for tonight at the ECW Arena in Philly, the 2300 Arena, home of ECW. So much transpiring. We have Bubba Ray Dudley with Trick Williams versus Ridge Holland and Ethan Page. Javon Evans and Wesley. Now it's giving me a headache. It's giving me a headache already. This as well, there's going to be the Battle Royale of Vice City and Parkerville, which I'm really, really excited to see. And Dawn Marie will be the referee for this match. This cat fight is going to be serious. And then we have our 5-on-5 women's match. The future queens of NXT and present queens, I might add, because every single one of them in this picture is a queen. You have the team of Kaylani Jordan, Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, Jordan Grace, and Zarya, formerly known as Delta, against the NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez, JC Jane, oh my God, why can't I get her name? Jasmine Nix, as well as the newly crowned North American champion, women's champion Fallon Henley, along with Miss Cora Jade. Guys, what are we ready to see? Pick your poison. Which one do we want to talk about first and predict for first? We got 30 minutes. Let's try to make it count. Where should we go? Ladies first.
It's got to be.
Ladies first, as always.
We got to.
Who you got, Professor?
You know, I almost feel like Ric Flair 1992 after he won the Royal Rumble with a tear in my eye. That's how I feel right now, because this is incredible. With a tear. This is just this. It's hard to put words around how great this is.
Mm-hmm.
It really is hard to put words around how great this is. I mean, you've got on one end, I mean, 5 of the most incredible wrestlers, in Kalani Jordan, Zarya, Stephanie Vacour, Julia, and Jordan Grace, a team that wasn't possible 3 months ago. This is what's crazy. This team was not possible 3 months ago, but then you look at the other side. Cora Jade wasn't here. We've got a new North American champion. And to me, the only way this works is that this team with Roxanne is actually built up where they have a chance. So this is going to be I think we win. We all
period.
Win.
Women's wrestling wins. How about that?
Women's
wrestling wins, because now this is what it looks like when you have the best women's wrestling on your roster. Just saying. Dion, who you got? Which team? Yeah, there has to be one team to come out on top. Who's it gonna be?
Man, it's so hard for me to go against Stephanie and her squad, man, or whoever's the leader. I don't care who's the leader. That whole team just looks. I see like the Avengers versus the Disney villains, but these 5 women, maybe all 10, could be in that like first Avengers, that shot where they all land and the camera's going around. That's how big this match is for that tonight for them. But I got the faces, I guess you could call, going over tonight. But man, is this the main event? Do we know where it is on the card yet?
No idea.
Not sure.
After looking through that card now, I was like, it has to be in some form or fashion. This has to close the show. And then for the last few weeks, I've been thinking, could it be at War Games, or could they get sort of a War Games sort of battle here? Because right now, this is. I don't know who I would want to see on the main roster in War Games. If you're giving me this on a Wednesday night, so I like, this is what I want in my War Games. But no, this is going to be great. I hope it ends the show. So many legends are probably coming back tonight too. But they've been teasing this for the last 3 weeks, and it's going to pay off. I hope they get all the time in the world to do what they want to do. And NXT 2300 might be. It might be. It's going to be a pretty good show tonight, and especially if they can with this. These women are lots of words, man.
It's going to be historic, but I find myself remiss if I, can continue to mention, like, I can't go against a team that has Jordan Grace, Zarya, Stephanie Vaquer, and Julia. Like, I can't bet against them. Can I? I mean, I might have to stick with the Juggernauts team, man. Like, it's so stacked either way, no matter which way you slice it. The girls on the right, I mean, they're gonna do their part and be the heels and do their thing. It's gonna be a lot of cattiness, a lot of sassiness, a lot of just brutality going on in this ring with this match. But I'll kick it off. There has to be one, and I choose Team Juggernaut. Councilman.
First off, my reaction to this match, just in its entirety.
Well, because you lose it, you never win.
Oh boy!
That stuff is
Hey, so you can all listen. Y'all went through this before when you all decided to vote for her over my client when it was in the match. You all decided, oh no one's beating the Juggernaut, and you saw what happened. All right, so if you think that I'm gonna walk over to this left side with y'all because all 3 of y'all want to stand over there, that's fine. Stand over that side of the playground. You know what we got over here?
I remember voting for Roxy. I don't know.
And you know what? Last time I checked, there's belts over on my side. Ain't none of them got anyways. Okay, you don't never go against the champion. All right, and I am sticking with my team of Roxanne, Cora Jade, and them Fatal Girls. Them over there.
Fatal Influence.
Yeah, Fatal
Influence, man.
Don't say attraction. You cannot do that.
No, that was Toxic Attraction that they were a part of.
Correct.
Yeah. Where is Gigi? She should be in this too. Just
she did host Halloween Havoc, but she is out with injury right now.
Oh, still okay.
Yeah. My question is where the hell is Mandy Rose? But I know she out here getting married and stuff. Congrats,
Mandy's
girl.
married.
Yeah, Mandy's married. Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I love love. Speaking of love, there's gonna be a lot of love going on in this match. I smell a disgusting cat fight, both in Vice City and in Parkerville. I'm not sure what the mayor's doing. He's probably hiding somewhere to avoiding all the torches and pitchforks of what's gonna be going on outside of his door. There's gonna be reckless abandonment going
I'm
on.
not gonna lie.
This match.
I think this is gonna steal the show tonight. I really think this is gonna steal the show tonight.
This just might. This just might. If Lola could get that spinning back fist a lot faster than Asuka, then it might be all right.
I even think we might see some tables. I like hardcore match, not extreme rules. Hardcore match. And Jada was out here carrying a shovel, so I don't know what's about to happen in this match.
Somebody's getting buried. Oh my Jesus Christ! You know what? I didn't even mean to highlight that. I was trying to highlight.
I'm like,
wow. I was trying to highlight Joe's comment above said comment. It says Booker T's gonna go crazy on this match. He's gonna have quite a fun time with this match. That's for sure.
It seems like that is too.
Apparently the mayor's gonna have a good time as well. Shots fired, hopefully not literally, cousin Rada. Boza says, with all jokes aside, the comments just get worse as you go down. It's bad. All jokes aside, this is low-key match of the night. Is this the match Booker will be filled with the Holy Spirit? I believe so. Yeah, I think so.
Don back too. I mean, they're bringing
and Dawn Marie, and also Francine is going to be there as well.
Hey, I forgot she was even the ref in this match. That's how dope this is going to be.
But who? But there can only be one, fellas. Professor, who you got?
I'm going Jada Parker. She'll get that good ECW win tonight.
I'm going with Jada Parker as well.
Yeah, same for me too.
I hear the ECW chants now.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see this kind of pose coming from Jada Parker tonight. A very Raven-like pose tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, I can also see. Yeah. See,
yeah.
Special little nobody says tonight Shawn Michaels earns his Michelin star in baking.
Oh yes.
I love that. Yeah, there can only be one, and I'm gonna have to go with Miss Jada Parker, man. She's on to something, and she's on a roll. I'm here for it. I think Lola has quite a few battleground, underground, whatever the hell you want to call it, ground wins under her belt. I think Jada Parker's gonna bring that heat tonight. So yeah, Jada for me as well. Boza says Lola Vice, this is her specialty. She KO'd Shayna in the UFC Performance Center. Yes. But I
don't do that, Boza. That's way different than a kendo stick. That's way
different.
Yeah, that's a total different ball game. We're going hardcore. Okay, hardcore, not UFC, but still hardcore weapons. Oh man, it just gets crazier and crazier as
somebody's jumping off of something.
Jumping off of somebody onto something and back off of something. Like that's what's basically going to be going on, because both of these boys are pretty bouncy, if you ask me. Wesley goes one-on-one with Javon Evans, and apparently in a segment that they had last week with RVD as a witness, RVD took it upon himself to say, "Oh, I got an idea. I'll see you guys next week," and walks out. What are we seeing here tonight, fellas? And who is walking out the winner? Dion.
Triple threat RVD puts himself in it. That's what I want. That's what I've been wanting. That's what I thought we were getting when he said that. I was like, oh, RVD is going to add himself to this match.
You and Boza seem to be on the same wavelength.
Yeah, I think I've seen RVD in some other places. RVD can still be RVD in places, especially in this situation. Let these two guys do all the stuff that he would do 20 years ago. Come in, 5-star frog splash. That's some Rolling Thunder, some Van Daminator's trip. Yeah, that's what I want. I've already that's a Christmas list for me. RVD in this match with two of the youngest high flyers in the game now will be super, super fun to see.
I know somebody who kind of missed the opportunity, being that he wanted to jump ship and everything. But Ricochet could have totally been a great fit for being part of this event. But whatever. We're talking about NXT. I do love this comment, Christian Ramos. This is Goku versus Vegeta levels of bouncy, and you are not kidding, sir. Councilman, there can only be one. Who you got?
This is difficult because I don't know if Wesley could take another loss after losing to Zach. I want to say Wesley picks it up with some shenanigans and tries to cut the tail of Javon Evans' wings.
Okay. Professor?
See, I'm kind of on the other side. I think Javon Evans has had a couple of significant L's. I mean, he just lost to Randy Orton, lost a tag team title match because of Wesley. I think somebody, and it's probably going to be Javon, if they still have the balcony area.
My God. Yeah, I was.
Somebody's jumping off them.
They jumping off of that. They're because that's a very famous moment. They're recreating that. And in terms of Ricochet,
he was special.
Oh my God, I love that video so much. I love that video. I mean, he was special. He could have been a little extra special, if he.
Well, don't worry, we got his little brother Carmelo now, who does way more than him.
Little brother is. Little brother is wild.
It's crazy. Javon bounces just like you and has a way better ring set than you do already, which is wild. Because I ain't never seen you go up against Randy Orton and look like that.
Well, they went there. I'm gonna have to go with the young OG as well myself. I definitely think that this isn't going to be the end of the young OG versus Wesley. I definitely think we're gonna see more with these two. I would love to get these guys in a cage or something, or a ladder match 1-on-1. Like just give me that, please. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you. Yeah, they really do look like they're in a video game right now. Like, choose your fighter. It looks amazing. Right. I can't wait for this match, but this match is going to be dope. Absolutely dope. And of course, we got a legend in the house and a legend heading to the ring. Bubba Ray Dudley, one half of the renowned multiple time tag team champions, the Dudley Boys, is going to be teaming up with Trick Willy Wonka versus Ethan Page, Mr. All Ego, and Mr. Grudge, Ridge Holland. Any comments or concerns on this match, Professor?
I think it's going to be a fun one. Here's what's crazy to me. This is the match that features the NXT champion. It features a WWE Hall of Famer, and it's probably the weakest match on this card. Which is saying something.
Which is wild. Yeah.
That's wild when you think about the strength of this card. Neither of these teams have exactly worked together before. I think we're going to get, obviously, a very fun moment with Bubba Ray. However, there's a part of me that feels like there needs to be a win on the side of Ridge Holland and Ethan Page if either of them are going to be considered serious contenders for the NXT championship. So I'm going to go off the beaten path and say we'll get a win from Ethan Page and Ridge Holland.
And you know what? I kind of would have to somewhat agree with that. I feel like there's an X factor here and we're just not seeing it. Trick has been on a high since winning the title. Bubba Ray, I know it's for nostalgia effect, but with every nostalgia effect and someone else to ruin it.
And the ruiner is Bubba Ray.
Oh, what? Where?
If you follow him in ECW, you follow him in TNA, he will turn on you. In NWA, he will turn on you in a
yes,
heartbeat.
yes.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me tonight.
That's
like
pretty
that.
crazy. That's pretty crazy.
Mhm.
I've been wondering and I've been curious. Where's Sean Spears been?
He's been injured.
Oh, he's injured. Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
Huh. I must have forgotten
Maybe
about that.
managing,
For some reason, I thought he was still waiting in the wings with a chair somewhere. So I thought that would have been a really good effect.
Nah, he be managing what's his face from
Brooke Jensen. Brooke
Jensen, yeah. Yeah. What's his face?
I'm just saying. Yeah.
He's more
Christian, yeah,
trifling.
he says he's more Bubba's raised more trifling than Kevin Owens. Christian claims that
Kevin Owens is in the right at
that's
this
the track
point.
record. Yeah, but yeah, and that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But we have 15 minutes left until NXT. And there's so much that's going to be going down. So make sure you guys check that out on the CW tonight. There will also be a watch along with our esteemed elected official here, the councilman. And we have the Wednesday Night Wars here at WWT. I can't believe I almost forgot about that. Courtney will be doing her watch along for Dynamite, and the councilman will be doing his watch along for NXT. Which channel are you going with? Well, either one, it's the same one. It's all love. The WWT team wins as always.
Dion, which one you going with again?
Oh, you already.
You guys are so bad.
Just came in here. You didn't know where you go.
Yeah.
What we just talked about, that's where I'll be.
We
All I know is this: that trick at Bubba match, that better be first. That better be first. Like if they close the show out with that, like I'm gonna start calling HBK Hickenbottom. Because
you will
after just that.
Nah, yeah. Cause yo, look, I was already tight about the tag team match and that it was second on Halloween Havoc. I was like, okay, I don't know what y'all doing, but all right. This one, yo, this is Survivor Series worthy.
But remember, they got to start strong. And if the Hurt Syndicate is apparently starting on Dynamite,
counter program,
they're going
you need to bring it.
They're going to start strong.
You know what? You want to start strong? Have Lola and Jada don't even do
And a
entrances.
hardcore
The
match.
girls
I
are
agree.
they're
I agree.
already fighting. They're already
Listen,
fighting
they can
in the
stretch that
back.
out.
Yeah,
They
They're
can do
already
that for 30
fighting in
minutes.
the back. Have them fight all the way to the ring, all over the arena.
I think that's
Sean.
Yeah,
Sean. Sorry.
even West too. Even West, because that's how you can
Or
start off.
even Wes and Javon Evans.
and him jumping off the thing, and then the match start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So man,
Something.
I just don't want that to be the main event, man. That tag team match got to be the last match. That's too much. That's fire right there.
It's going to be fun to see.
Yes,
We'll find out in a few
Gonna be-
minutes.
Yes, we
Yeah.
will. We got about 13 minutes left, and it's time to go. And it's happened so fast. That means we must have been having fun while doing it, which we always do. And it's time to let the people know where they can find us. Dion, where can everybody find you, sir?
Yeah, over on All Star Fandom Show on Instagram and TikTok. Also over on YouTube. Here Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. So far, having fun every item with you guys, and stay tuned for an announcement, something maybe special coming down the line on Sunday on WWT. So be on the lookout for that.
Nice.
Sunday.
Nice.
Okay.
Sunday fun day with Dion.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, Councilman, where can everybody find you, sir?
You can find me at Starting Over on all of my social. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult, but we gotta sometimes just adjust to starting over.
Man, this is what you do when things get in your way.
Oh, would you look at? Oh, wait. Oh, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think that's how,
That's so much.
that's how Ricochet feel them new cats did to him. They were styling in the video.
I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. I'm so sorry. Councilman, where can they find you? And hopefully not in the parking lot.
Yeah. I already said mine. That's
Okay, good. Professor, he's starting over again.
That's
Professor,
hilarious.
Where can everybody find you?
You could find me at Bonafide across all the socials, and I'll just kind of speed through and go to this one. A quick announcement tomorrow. I have an interview dropping on Fightful. So you guys can check that out. It's a Fightful podcast that was done. We taped it last night. So I think you guys will enjoy that. So I'll send you guys the link once it drops, but it's happening tomorrow, I think around 10 a.m. Eastern. So yes, you guys check that out. And then all the other stuff that I have going on. So y'all know how it is. Just find me at Bonafide.
As well as that amazing movie.
Yes, The Unbreakable Bunch. This is crazy. I feel like I have too much stuff. You got The Unbreakable Bunch. You can check that out on Amazon Prime, Apple TV Plus, YouTube, Vimeo, all of those spaces. So you can check that out. And I'm excited because I actually get to, in this interview, talk about my commentary journey and kind of how it got started for those who've never heard the story. And they asked some fun questions. So yeah, you guys check it out.
Amazing. Love to hear it. Love to see it. Shout outs to everybody in the chat. Pat, you, Jeffrey, cousin Ron, special little nobodies. I believe I saw Chris LeClaire in here, Eric Isaac, Christian Ramos Sindiel, King Mike Hall, everybody. I'm going down the list. Lewis Johnson. I don't like missing people. Of course, our esteemed mayor, who did not do a Monday night show, said, Joe, and all of the good people watching and commenting. We always appreciate your energy. You guys have no idea how much our day has been made, especially after we hang out with y'all. You guys can find me at All Things Wrestling with Honey. Like and subscribe to the Wrestling with Honey podcast on YouTube. Stuff is coming real soon. I mean, New Year's almost here, so a lot of new things will be showing up, and I can't wait for you guys to see. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else. My Honey Pop predictions Mondays and Fridays, and don't forget to tune into the watch alongs every Friday for Friday Honey Night SmackDown. This Friday should definitely be a good one. Lord knows where our brains are going to be by the time we resurface again for WWT Live on Friday, but can't wait. And let's get out of here. We've kept enough of your time. Enjoy NXT or Dynamite wherever you fare to go. And we'll see you guys down the road on Friday. You guys have a great night. And this was Wrestling with Honey and the crew signing off on Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Peace, y'all.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.